back everyone for some more Phoenix Wright for Justice for All. Should I say just Justice for All? But we are continuing the trial in the case against Matt Arngard. Last episode we heard from Detective Gumshoe and listened to his testimony. But now we are going to be listening to another witness, which the judge said in the last episode he feels that there's more than enough evidence to draw a verdict, but Edgeworth wants to bring on this next witness, so we'll be hearing from them. But before we start, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. So without further ado, let's hear from the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Yep. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Shush, I'm talking my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dear Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that Arngard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in the real man, Juan Corrida. But those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Witness testimony. What you witnessed. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye on the whole time. That's when when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Arngard, Matt Arngard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. So Mr. Arngard came out from the victim's room. See? It has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination. What you witness. After the ceremony, she went to pace around in the hallway. Something I was interested in finding out. Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I could just go around telling everyone, you know. That's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy Poo, of course. Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. Looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Okay, she was on the job. Someone showed up. Arngard, maybe trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. You say my client? Are you sure about that? Yes-y. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this bit a bit further. Okay, person's face, what the person was carrying. Well, he was supposed to be in his costume, I guess, so let's ask about the person's clothes. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now, what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing! What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Oof. Men. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or irrelevant in any way? I have to say it was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. And perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please. Oh well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. Okay. And with that, I am going to present the Jammin' Ninja's button. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Do you know what this is? Ah, it's button number 2 on Jammin' Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She's identified it in a single glance. Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this! Wow. She really is a die-hard fan of one a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Enguerrard's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Enguerrard. It was caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants. See? See? And Enguerrard is a Nickel Samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Enguerrard, was wearing his usual racing jacket? Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. Okay. Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you say in actuality was that was not Mr. Enguerrard the man, but Mr. Enguerrard the Nickel Samurai? But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Witness testimony. Who I saw. Enguerrard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Pork One. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, youngins today, I told you, there's no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Let me just save it again just to make sure. Cross-examination, who I saw. Okay, she remembers it was a nickel samurai. Wherever convenient for him to wear. He had to go, that's post-ceremony. So he must have worn a nickel set when he was stabbing poor. Okay. And all we need to do now is present the knife. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's a knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at, and whose car are we driving? Oh, God. Oh, God. If Mr. Ongard was really in the nickel samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Oh, that's right. The nickel samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as a nickel samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his testimony? I'd say so. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. Well, what are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ongard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. This knife. This was used by Mr. Ongard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Wow, I don't know why I'm having trouble reading today. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? So it's to frame Matt Ongard, of course. It's to frame my client. Mr. Ungard, of course. To frame... aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Ugh! Witness! Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... oh my god. Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ungard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Kurita, am I correct, witness? Hahaha. The way you think, you're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita. Maybe, Phoenix, maybe the Old Bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think me is hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Old Bag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? I know who she was waiting for. She was waiting to see Adrian Andrews. Who was this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ungard's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is... I see. It just seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews, without a doubt. The witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What world are you... Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I've got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of your youngins. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Witness testimony. Secret information. That Ungard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant. Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you might cross-examine a witness. And we're gonna go ahead and save. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, Ungard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags of fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay, Kenny Loggins. Okay. Evil man could ruin poor one. To do that, he sends his own manager. She does not condone such dirty tricks. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information? Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did our old bag get such a secret piece of information? I think I'm gonna present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Mr. Old Bag? Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that! Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? The investigative photographer, Lotta Hurt. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outraged impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous ideas, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note? I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Ungird. She said so herself. Ungird, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy-poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it's only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Heck no. I mean, she put us through the ringer in the first game. I mean, the fact that she's even in this game kind of makes my stomach turn, but I'm piling on more pressure. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Since it stole, why don't you listen more carefully, annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible, lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hurt was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me. Why? What? Witness! What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera, too. Grr. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Ah, that's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrow is a little off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Bailiff, Check his camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Lotta's photo added to the court record. Picture taken in the hallway right after the murder. Well, what does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Unger clearly stated that, at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then, this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before we close. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with the Bunker Buster. Debunk with the Bunker Buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from, anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Take that!
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. Unger. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks, you can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack, then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Mad On Guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Let's save first. Who is the person in this photograph? I think it's Adrian Andrews. Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? Why in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get to a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, Ray? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order! 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 Looks like this trial has had a most unexpected development. Miss Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor? This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing a testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. Ark! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya... No then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Wait and see. I'm gonna raise an objection. Now then. Objection! Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony. She is not... I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But... We cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man? Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. And there we go. That is where we're gonna call it here. But yeah, next time I see you guys, if the next episode, I'm gonna warn you guys, will probably be a long one, at least 45 minutes long. But I do want to get the entirety of Miss Adrian Andrews' testimony in the next video, all of it if I can. So that will be what I will be doing in the next episode of this case. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. And I'll be seeing you guys again next time.